Happy Friday, everyone. This is episode 18 of the Wild Nutrition Podcast, and this is Unapologetic Fridays. I'm your host, Chris Heskett. Unapologetic Fridays, if this is your first one, is a real, raw, unedited, just record and post type of podcast. This is no sugarcoating. If you are offended by lots of cursing, I would turn the episode off now because we're going to get into it. So I set a timer for 15 minutes. I try to stick with it, and I've failed the past couple episodes. So we're going to really try to stick with it this time. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? But today's topic is make time, or you're going to be forced to make the time. So here goes the timer. 15 minutes on the dot. We're going to try to do 10 to 15 minutes. So you need to make the fucking time, or you're going to be forced to make the time in the future. All the time I message people, or I get DM'd, and people want to start making improvements on their health. And what happens is, I don't have time. Oh, I'm so busy. I just can't imagine doing anything else. Okay, you're miserable and unhappy. That's the reason you reach out to me. You are miserable and unhappy, but God forbid you do anything to get yourself out of that situation. Woe is me. Come on. You can do one fucking thing to improve your health, but you just have this all or nothing mentality of I have to do everything or I'm not going to do a fucking thing. Cool. So you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to be stuck for the rest of your life. And at some point, you're going to have to be forced to make time for your health and fitness because it's deteriorating. People don't understand that your health and fitness, those things deteriorate over time. There is no pause button. The pause button is active maintenance, aka eating well and maintaining your level of fitness through exercise. You can maintain it just by going for walks and doing once or twice a week in the weight room, or a home resistance training workout. That's maintenance. That's the pause button. You can't fucking pause your body. It's going to slowly deteriorate. A bodybuilder and super smart dude, Ben Pekulski, I learned this quote from him. I'm not sure where he got it from, but he said, you're either growing or you're dying. And this is essentially true with the body. There is no middle ground. You're either making improvements in your health or your health is going away. That's it. You're either slowly moving towards death faster or you're trying to prolong your health and quality of life. That's your options. If that pisses you off, you can turn this fucking podcast off and continue to be stuck. I'll wait. I'll give you 3 seconds. Okay, if you're still here fucking listening, then you probably want to improve your life. Is this a little harsh? Yeah, welcome to Unapologetic Fridays, where I don't sugarcoat things. I'm just super passionate about it. So, I don't have time for exercise. Look, we are so fucking sedentary, and the United States, I have a few listeners who are not in the United States, but the United States sucks for walking. And most of us have desk jobs. So if you go to Europe, a lot of places are very easy to walk. So why are there lower rates of heart disease and things over there in Europe? Because you can fucking walk. If you look at New York City, generally the obesity rate is a little bit lower because people walk every fucking where. You can walk faster than you can drive a lot of places in New York City. The city's designed for walking, but the elementary school where I live, it's a quarter mile. It's maybe at most a 10-minute walk, probably less, probably more 5-ish, depending on how fast you walk. But there's no sidewalk and the road is really narrow. So if a truck comes down and a car at the same time, it's dangerous for anyone to walk. So this is one reason why we have a lot of issues in America is we don't have access to just easily move. And then people have gotten fucking lazy. Sorry, but I've seen in my neighborhood where people will drive over to drop something off in my neighborhood and then drive back on a weekend. That was a 16th of a mile. It is a 3-minute walk, but you got in your car and you drove over and then drove back. What the fuck? That's the state we're in America, and this is why we have so many health issues. Your body is designed to move. all your nutrition and everything works a lot better when you move. It's designed, your body is designed that way. We just sit on our asses all day and our bodies aren't designed for that. We are not sloths. And even sloths fucking move. So you need to make time for exercise, or you're going to have to make time when you have coronary artery disease, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack. Like, yeah, that might be a ways away, but it starts now. Like, all those things happen now. If you're in your 30s, you need to be making strides. Like, you should have started in your 20s, but if you're in your 30s, that shit starts adding up really quick now. I mean, if you're older than that, which many of you are, because I see the stats, most of my listeners are going to be 45 to 55, you better be fucking doing something, because that shit's catching up to you. And that's around the corner. In the next decade, you're going to see your health plummet if you're not taking action towards it. Yes, genetics play a role. Genetics load the gun. Your lifestyle pulls the trigger. So if you have a healthy lifestyle, that gun's on safety, that trigger doesn't get pulled. Maybe you have really shitty odds and the safety breaks and that trigger gets pulled by accident. But more often than not, you can overcome really shitty genetics with a healthy lifestyle. Or you have a really shitty lifestyle and that just pulls the trigger, and then everything goes downhill. But exercise is only one component. Nutrition is the other side of things. So exercise is really good for our health. When it comes to weight loss and the other aspects of health, nutrition plays an important role. We can reduce a lot of inflammation, which most diseases caused by our lifestyle, which are going to be coronary artery disease, heart disease, stroke, dementia. A lot of those things are related to our lifestyle. And high levels of inflammation, those can be counteracted with nutrition, but you'd rather order takeout 4 times a week and then complain about healthy food being expensive, rather than realize that the amount you spent on takeout was the same fucking amount you spent for a week of healthy groceries. But God forbid we do that, because it's $30 every time you order from Grubhub, and you did that 4 times a week. That adds up fucking quick. Does it save you time? Sure, it's also destroying your health, so you're welcome. You're eating 3 times a day as it is. So people are like, again, all or nothing. I just don't know what to eat. The hell you don't. Come on. If I told you right now what to eat, you could make improvements. That doesn't mean it's going to get you there. I had a call yesterday with someone where I was like, hey, your improvements are good. We just need to dial things in a little bit more for your weight loss, but you've made amazing improvements. You know what the fuck to eat. Stop saying you don't know. Come on. Yes, things are confusing, but everybody knows that whole grains, vegetables, and lean proteins are healthy. That's pretty common. What are they? Okay, now we have a question, because American education really sucks with nutrition, but at this point, you should know kind of what direction you should head in. And guess what? You're listening to this probably on a supercomputer that just a decade or two ago we couldn't even imagine having. Like, think about your iPhone. People are like, I don't know what to eat. I can't find recipes. You literally do everything in day-to-day life on a phone that's mobile, that can give you all the information in the world. If you want to study astrophysics and become really like learn quantum mechanics, you can do that for free, believe it or not, with your phone. What used to be a barrier, like you would have to go to college, you would have to read textbooks that were way too advanced, can do that right now on your phone. Any skill you want, any knowledge in the world, you can get right off your phone for essentially free. Google it. Fucking Google it. What are lean proteins? What are healthy vegetables? There you go. It's so fucking easy. In fact, it's so easy now that we have AI to help us. You can go and use ChatGPT for free, and it will write you a workout program. You can tell it, I only have 15 minutes. Write me a workout program. It'll do it for you for free. Is it the best thing in the world? No, it's not at that level yet. I need a recipe. It will write you a fucking recipe. It will make you a grocery list for the recipe that you just created for you. You could ask it to write a week's worth of recipe and the grocery list to go with it, and it would be done for you. It's that simple nowadays, but you don't want to take action. It takes that little bit of energy to do it, so that perceived energy. The reality is it'll take you less than 5 minutes to do that, but the perceived energy of doing that is so great you don't want to take action on it. So you're already eating 3 times a day. Just make some changes to that. You're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You already know snacking is where you go off the rails. This is another thing. I'll do a nutrition consult with someone and their breakfast, lunch, and dinner is perfect. Awesome. And I already know how this conversation is going because lunch is like a salad with like 4 ounces of chicken. I'm like, okay, I already fucking know. Like, don't try to hide it, which is why I've added a second question to my Fix My Diet assessments and metabolic assessments. Don't try to hide it. I already know how this conversation is going because you're doing that and then you're having this tiny ass dinner. I know you're snacking mid-afternoon or right before dinner on cheese and crackers. And then after dinner, you're having ice cream. I already fucking know it. I've seen it. I've been in here for 10 years, kind of like a parent telling a kid, and the kid's trying to lie, and you're like, dude, I did the same fucking shit when I was your age. Yeah, I've seen everyone go through this, which is why I ask people, what did you leave out? Oh my God, the cheese and crackers. Oh my God, the break room goodies. Oh my God. Yeah, maybe if we just ate larger meals instead of you trying to starve yourself, you would actually stick to your diet. Maybe actually eat some real food, like double your veggies, double your protein, and eat some actual food, because 1,200 calories is like how much a toddler should be eating, not a full fucking grown human. So maybe you should eat some real food and not worry so much about like, I don't know if I should eat 13 or 1,200 calories. Like, eat 16 to 1,800 calories. That's where, if you're a woman, 16 to 1,800 calories are probably going to be where I would set you if you start a weight loss phase with us today with PWC. And if you're a guy, probably 2,000 to 2,200. Probably. Obviously, this is a big blanket statement and there's lots of nuance to it, but generally they're in that range. Maybe up to 2,400 for men, but yeah, women are like 16 to 1,800 generally. That's where we start them. Not 1,200. Eat some fucking food. Don't get malnourished, because that's what happens next. You're supposed to have a sex drive. You want to know what happens when you go down to 1,200 calories? That goes away, because that's the first system the body's like, oh, this is an essential. Let's destroy this. And that's not a good sign, because all those sex hormones are what help maintain your body's health. They're really fucking important. And that's the first thing that goes away. But that's a conversation for another day. So you don't have time for it. You're going to be forced to make time. If you're not making these changes, you know you need to change your health now. Why haven't you fucking started? What could you change to make a difference? A 1% difference. You're either moving towards or away. So if you're too busy, you are actively moving away from your end goal. That goal is getting further and further and further, and I'll say it one more time, further away from you. Or you could make 1% difference. You could, instead of ordering takeout, you could do a salad with chicken and a massive ass sweet potato, and that could be your lunches next week. Maybe that's your plan for meal prep. Or maybe you just start drinking enough water. Maybe instead of soda and coffee all day long, you just swap some of the soda out for water. 1% difference. You just want to be 1% better than the last week. Just 1%. Because over the course of a year, that's all going to snowball. So you need to take action and do something that's smart, something that's thought out. Now, you're going to be listening to this. Maybe you're super emotional. So use that motivation, use that energy to make a logical, emotionless decision on what your action is going to be moving forward. Don't be like, okay, well, I'm cutting out all sugar. Cool. In 52 weeks, is that realistic when we're back in the holiday season? No. Okay, I'm going to cut out a lot of snacks because of that. So I'm going to cut out all sugar from my actual meals, and I'm going to just have like one sweet treat in the house for desserts. That's my action. That's way more logical and sustainable long term. So before you go off and make a really illogical decision, because it's an emotional based decision, make sure any decision moving forward is actually based in logic and can be sustainable long term. By the way, sugar is not necessarily killing you unless it's displacing healthy food in your diet. So this is why sugar tends to not be the greatest thing in a calorie deficit, because you are eating less than your body needs. So there's the timer. So we're almost done. Your body needs a certain amount of calories. You're eating less than that. So that's why more nutrient-dense foods are important. Once you get to maintenance, or once you get into a calorie surplus where you're trying to put on muscle mass and chasing athletic performance, sugar is not that bad. That's why athletes can drink Gatorade and not really worry about it, because it's not displacing healthy foods. They check off all the other things. And this is where you're like, what? Why can that person do that? Well, they're in a fucking different state than you are. Their goals are different. That's why they get that. If someone's eating 3,500 calories, they're in a different phase than you eating 1,500 calories trying to lose weight. It's a different end goal. Athletic performance, weight loss, different things. So stop being fucking miserable. You're going to either take action now after you listen to this, or you're going to be forced to take action down the road. And the longer you wait, the more action you're going to have to take to actually get back to where you're at today. So just to get back to where you are right now. And if you're like, oh my God, I'm in a sorry state right now. Well, just to get back to this state you're in right now, it's going to take work if you put this off. If you put it off for another 3 months, another 6 months, you're going to continue to move away from your end goal, your end health goal. That's going to move away. Or you could take action right now, figure something out, make a decision, and start making changes and moving towards your health goal. Because maintaining your health takes work. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. It takes work. There's no sugarcoating around that. Welcome to Unapologetic Fridays. You're going to have to fucking work to maintain your health. Is it a ton of work once you get to maintenance? No, it's not a ton of fucking work. It becomes a lifestyle because you're going to be so much happier, literally happier. You're going to be so much more confident to actually maintain it because you never want to feel the way you did right now. Because you don't want to go back to that old person who was miserable and depressed and anxious, all caused by unhealthy lifestyle. Whereas you could improve your health and get rid of all that, have that energy, and then be able to take on anything you want in the rest of your life. So the choice is yours. I'm going to leave you here. Stop being fucking miserable. Start taking actions towards your goals. And that's going to be a little different for everyone. But what's the one thing? And if it's not health and fitness, also same thing. If you have a goal of doing a business, of making X amount of money, of learning a new skill, what is the one thing you can do right now to move you towards that? What can you do? Is it reading something? Is it listening to a podcast? Is it hiring a mentor? What is the one thing that you could do to help move you towards that goal? All right. So that's going to be it today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Real quick before we go, this is a reminder. We have 2 more days for signups for the 8-week Health Makeover. So if something clicked to you with this podcast today, you need a mentor, you need a coach to actually help you take action and get you on the right path so you don't continue making fuck ups and mistakes as I did for years and years and years. Go ahead, click the link in the bio, fill out the application, and schedule your call, and we'll get you signed up for it. So that starts Monday, January 30th. This is coming out on Friday. So make sure you sign up if you're interested. With that being said, happy fucking Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Go kill it out there, guys.